Hated this guy, by the way.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We have such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now?
Are you crazy? Kill you all! Nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
They're here.
There we go. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. It is a warm one out here in Bakersfield, but it is a good day. Timothy, how you doing?
Yeah, it's been really hot here. I've been getting headaches from the heat.
That will happen. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
I had to take Pedialyte? That helps me.
That's smart though. Get some electrolytes. Make sure you get some shade. Hey, Steven, how you doing?
Ice cream, actually. If you're ever here, you have to taste EG's. It's like a slushie. It's like a Tucson thing. I think they only have it in Tucson.
I'm going to have to try that out. Hey, Chrissy, how you doing? Good to see everybody there. Tonight it's just me and Marlene. If Lex can join us, she's free to hop on, but she's a little busy tonight. So just a heads up, everybody.
What did you say? I was like, I hate this guy. And then the intro started, but you were saying something, so you cut off.
Oh, no worries. I agree. What we're talking about for the next 2 weeks are not people you're gonna like. All right.
No.
Oh.
They're white men who these are the kind of men I've dealt with before, and they just think they know everything, and they're the worst.
It's true. It's really bad. There's no redeeming qualities coming up in the next couple episodes.
No.
It's just bad people getting away with bad things until they don't, I guess.
Well, I think at least the other person, we'll get into that because I was really upset with the ending because I've heard of him before, but I didn't know exactly what happened. And his end really made me upset. There was no justice at all.
Oh, yeah, definitely agree with that. What do you call it? Yes, it is a sweet cap. Thank you, Richard. This was an excellent birthday gift I got last week. Richard talking about me. No, don't worry. You are safe in this one. These are people who they're a lot worse than any minor infractions you might have done. Don't worry.
They're one of the worst people ever. There's people that hate the Kardashians, but I'm they're amazing. They haven't done anything bad like them,
Oh yeah. If you want to just compare the two, it's I'd much rather, talk to the Kardashians for a full day versus know this guy for a minute. It's not even close.
It was disgusting.
Yeah, it's real bad. But yeah, obviously we're talking about this first one today is Jeffrey Epstein. A very checkered past all the way back since 96. So this is not as new as it is in the news, last year, the year before. It goes way further than that.
I was very overwhelmed by this case because there were so many things going on. So I'm glad you did research too, because I felt I only got a grain of salt from everything.
Honestly, yeah, there's so much to it, and there's so many different sources. We're probably on the same page. There's probably so much we might have missed. So hopefully,
yes.
You guys in the comments know anything. Feel free to chime in too. It really helps.
Even just the financial stuff he did, the Ponzi scheme. There was just so much, and I felt it barely got a grain of salt.
Yeah, it's true. And it's funny though too, because you look at what's going on right now, and everyone's really excited about these NFTs and whatnot. Well, all that is people putting a bunch of money into something until someone else sells it, and then they take all the money. That's kind of a Ponzi scheme.
Like they'll give you like a little bit of money, so they keep you in there, and you put more money, but you're not gonna get like that. You're not gonna live the life he was living.
Sooner or later, yeah.
By the way, I was like looking where he lived, like the Palm Beach house. Like it was crazy. Like only you had to be a billionaire to live there. And I was like, damn, this guy really lived like a fucking great ass life. And then
it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah,
he did.
I got really upset. Like it was hard to research.
Oh yeah. I mean, and from the very beginning, he lived a pretty, I don't want to say easy life, but a pretty luxurious life.
Yeah, private jets and everything. Because the ending, it's just a drop in the ocean compared to everything he lived, the amazing life he had.
Oh yeah, yeah. He got to do so much while doing so much bad. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
And the amount of people that the story itself touches, like all the other people that are either influential or rich or famous or whatever you want to call them, politically influential. I mean, the list is very detailed, which is scary.
By the way, he had a private island, and I was like, he had the dumbest name ever. I was like, why didn't he have a cool name for his private island? Like, I don't know. I wish he would have named it something cool or something cheeky.
At least, yeah. I don't think he was a very bright guy. I think he was just good at blackmail.
Yes. He was very calculating. True.
But he was, let's go from the beginning. He was born in 1953. Dropped out of college in 1974. He was going to the Koran Institute of Mathematical Sciences in New York. And he drops out before getting his degree. But that didn't stop him, because then he goes on to teaching at the Dalton School.
Isn't that crazy, though? Like, that blew my mind that he was at a school. I was like, what the fuck?
Like, no, he didn't even have the what's the word I'm looking for? The credentials to do it, and he's still doing it. That's such, it's aggravating.
By the way, there was like people talking about the time he was at the school, and people would notice he was that teacher. I think every high school has that teacher where they're a little close to you. You know, they get next to you. They're kind of flirty, you know.
Awkward, but it's so true. Like, I can think back into my high school and like point out like two of them. Like, they're just a little too close to certain students. It makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, because I've noticed that when it happens to me, when men get in my space, I'm like, oh no, like you can't do that. You need to. And if they're socially dumb or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like a decent person would not do that.
No, or at least if you tell them like you're uncomfortable, they should know that. I mean, stop, and then you're good. They might miss the first cues, but if you literally tell somebody, then that should be the end of it. Should be done. Done.
That happened to me one time, and he didn't even apologize. He was like, "Oh, you're right." Like, he didn't apologize, and I was so upset. I was like, "This fucking asshole." But now I know the kind of person you are. Now I know the kind of person you are.
Just a little. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I'll back up. You know, anything would be better than. Oh, okay.
You were right. I got too comfortable with you. That's what he said, and I was like, "Oh, I know." He was like the men we're gonna talk about. He reminds me like that exactly white male. He has power and stuff. And it's usually, I don't know what it is. It's like having so much power.
Yeah, I could see that. It seems to be like a running theme when you find these people. It's not, well, I guess it's pretty much everywhere, but the worst of it really is those people who have authority or some say so over others that can hold that over them, which is super upsetting. Because
Jeffrey, his money, that was his power. Like all the money he had, like the wealth.
Oh, yeah. The bilking it out of people and then using that to strong arm other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. But let's see, where is it? So he has his mansion, a friggin' mansion in New York City, of all fucking places. God, it's just $13.2 million mansion on 71st Street in 1989. Let's just do. Let me see if I could find the inflation calendar real quick for what that would be today.
Do you have a picture of it?
Oh, I can find that too. Let me go over here. In New York mansion. All right. That. Oh, I really hope that's not it. That's okay. Here we go. Like the first one I saw was gigantic. This one is it's really big and it's impressive. Don't get me wrong, but the first one I saw was like a skyscraper. I was like, there's no way he has a skyscraper. That's not smart. There we go. So that obviously is, I mean, it's old school New York style architecture. It's just showing the front of it, but it's a huge piece of property in one of the most expensive places on the planet. So I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, he was friends with the people from Victoria's Secret, right? The guy who owned it.
Yes.
I think that's where I first heard of him. His name, because he would sleep with the Victoria's Secret models, like they had to do it to keep their job or something.
Yeah, no, it's they would. Well, I think that would be part of it. It wasn't so much Epstein at that point though. That was what's his name, the other guy. Oh my goodness. I just had it too. Oh, you know what? No, I don't think he had met him at this point. That might have come a little bit later. Right before this, he actually met Robert Meister, the vice chair of Aon, which is a giant insurance company. That was one of his first people that he kind of started slowly bilking. But that mansion right there, and to today, 2022, would be $30 million, $30.3 million.
Fuck that guy.
This was before
Honestly,
he really got into it.
Fuck that guy.
That's insane. Let's see. Richard says he's got $20. Well, we all put $20 together. We can buy a mansion sooner or later.
Then the taxes.
Oh gosh! All right, I need another $20 then.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. So on August 1st, 1996, artist and sister accuse Epstein and Maxwell of attempted rape. This is an approximate date. Let's see if I can find more details. Maria Farmer files report with NYPD and FBI. Neither went anywhere until the FBI began digging into Epstein's allegations in 2006, which will end up being dropped when the financier accepted the sweetheart plea in 2008. Maria and artist Epstein and Maxwell. Maria, excuse me, an artist Epstein and Maxwell took a liking to, but she was sexually assaulted by Epstein and Maxwell. She claimed, Maxwell being his female counterpart, who is in the news now, Ghislaine Maxwell. I think her trial is pretty much done with, but they've kept it so under wraps. I don't even know all that is to it.
Did you say the sweetheart plea?
The sweetheart plea, yeah.
Was that the plea that they said it was like one of the, what was that, like the most lenient they've ever had? Because it was like, what was that, solicitation? When it was like a minor. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, how did he get away with that? And it just shows like all the money and power.
Yeah, I mean,
privilege he had.
Yeah, her sister Maria, who was also in the suit, was 16 at the time. It makes no sense how you get away with that.
He got charged with solicitation. She wasn't even a prostitute.
You can't claim that if it's a child. That's what,
I know, a little slap on the wrist. That's it.
It's really terrible.
Yeah,
it really is. All right. But then in the next year, in May of '97, there's a model that accuses him basically of the same thing. Alicia Arden files a police report saying that she was. This is the Victoria's Secret model actually. That she was assaulted by Epstein, but the investigators, never get back to her. They never really contact her again. which is
Well,
it happens way more often than I think people realize. That these things will be filed, they'll give them whatever information they ask for, and then nothing happens. Which is just
that's why a lot of the victims, they did a civil court. They did the criminal one where he was not found guilty, and the civil one is like where you get the money, but they're usually found guilty in that court. That's why they go to the civil court. And back then, a lot of people were like the magazines were like, oh, these gold diggers, they want the money. But no, it was like a way to get justice from them.
It could be the only way in most cases.
Yeah, it's the only other loophole they have.
Yeah.
And even them, like, they deserve the money. Like, I don't fucking, like, give them the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to fix anything, obviously.
No.
But if you can hurt the people somehow,
I guess it's more like hurting him. It's more like hurting him and getting him, like...
Yeah, if you can hurt him somehow, and the money's the only way.
Because when he died, when he was in prison or in jail, he did a trust. So, like, nobody would get the money. So he was making sure that the victims would not get any money.
That is, that is
It's so fucked up. Yeah.
Man. Hey, Gary, just want to make sure I said hello. I know I put your name on the screen. I just want to say hello. So in 2001, that was in 97, and not a whole lot of mishaps or just stuff like that occurs in that time period from 97 to 2001. But in 2001, he meets Prince Andrews and Virginia Giuffre. They have a picture of them inside of Maxwell's house with Epstein on March 12th. Let's see. Virginia, who was quite young at the time, it doesn't say her age, but she was one of the people who came forward and said that she was attacked not just by Epstein, but by Prince Andrews as well. So that just shows the big people that were a part of this. Just very large names, very deep families.
I can't imagine being attacked and then also being attacked by somebody who has that much power and knowing if you go up against them, it's not going to end well. And I applaud the victims from this case. Especially
a lot of courage.
Yeah, back then. I think now people are more like, yeah, that you're the victim, you should speak out. But back then, like, they would call them gold diggers, and they're like, they want the money.
Yeah, I don't even know if today is any better, really.
I think it's a little bit better. I think it's a little bit better than before. They're more likely to believe the victim. Like, even now, I feel like with Johnny Depp and everything, I'm like, people are seeing Amber for who she is.
Oh, what the sad part is, she's the one who lied about a lot of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it just kind of tarnishes other people's reputation who are trying to either get justice or just get the word out that, hey, this person's a bad person, don't be around them. Yeah. And then they're looked at like they're crazy because they have an actual experience or an actual, situation they need taken care of. And they can't get the help because there's always that little bit of doubt, and it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have what's her name? You have Amber Heard. My gosh, what was the guy's name? Jesse Smollett, who made up the attack in the park in New York.
Oh my! He was from Empire, right?
Yeah.
That is
great
so
TV
fucked
show.
Up. But I feel like
he's bad.
There must be something wrong with you mentally. Like there's something, too many nuts in that banana split.
I don't even think he was. I think he was just seeking attention, and he went for it. And I do not care for that guy. I'm glad he's getting what he's getting.
Yeah, I used to like him on that show, and then I found out about Return.
Well, she earned that, all right?
Oh, my gosh. She was, like, blaming the dogs. I have a Yorkie, too. She doesn't take a dump like that.
That ain't a dog's problem, yeah.
Yeah, Daisy's little dumps, they're tiny.
What do you call it? All right, let's get back to this terrible guy before we go into dog turds.
But this guy's a piece of shit too, so we're not
speaking of dog turds,
it's basically the same thing we're talking about.
It's basically the same. Yeah, one of them is a little bit. One of them's natural. One of them's horrible.
One's a big piece of shit. One of them's huge because It was so upsetting. There was no justice. Like the little time he was there, and then he was at the hospital for part of it. So it was the victims talking about that there was no justice. I felt that for them. Yeah. Fighting so hard, like so many years trying to get this guy, and this fucking coward. But okay, what do you think? Did he kill himself? Or?
No, I think someone killed him.
Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely do.
I kind of believe that too. Yeah.
There is I wanted to talk about this later, but there was an interview on the Joe Rogan podcast with the scientist, and they were going into something completely unrelated at the time to Epstein and all that. But it kind of just turned over there for a quick second, and the guy's demeanor completely changes, and he's almost defending Epstein. And it's like, it makes you like super, like, if you know anything about it, it's like, what? Like, what is he talking about? And then all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, I was on his plane too at one point. Like,
but I mean,
you're in on it.
A lot of people were on his plane. That's the thing. He was so influential. Like, he had presidents. He had so many important people on his plane. And he had a meeting with Bill Gates. And at the same time, like, you can't blame those people because, like, how would they know? Like, you can meet somebody, you can work with somebody. And it has happened to me where I've worked with somebody and then they tell me something about them. And then I'm like, oh, yeah.
Like, no, I totally agree. Well, but it's been the same. I've had those situations too, especially in the filmmaking side.
Yes.
Like, if I find out somebody is using their authority to prey on people, I don't work with them anymore, and I've lost friends over that. And I'm okay with that. They're not good friends, anyways. You don't need them in your life.
No. Well, that happened with actors where I got that little gut feeling, but I was like, you know what? No, maybe it's me, and maybe I should be friendly or something. And then somebody would say something. I was like, fuck it. I should have listened to that gut feeling.
You know, sometimes you just have to.
Yeah.
Never say you were on that plane. It's completely, if you didn't do anything, don't ever mention you were on his plane. If you did do something, definitely say you were on the plane so we know to keep you away from us. Because I honestly think a lot of them were complicit. They did something. It wasn't him doing it by himself in a vacuum. Because then who would care if he went down or not, you know? Like, if it truly was just him and Ghislaine Maxwell and like one other guy, he would still be alive, and they would have had him in a normal case in a normal situation.
Well, when the police was like monitoring him, like his life didn't change. He just went to another house and he was still having sex with underage girls. Like, there's nothing different about it. Just a different house and little slap on the wrist. So. Yeah.
In 2005, an unnamed victim says when she was 14 years old, that her 14-year-old stepdaughter had been taken to Epstein's mansion and was let me get this whole conversation here.
She's the one that got paid for the massage.
She was the one who was paid.
She got into a fight at school and they found $300 on her, and they were asking her where did she get the money from.
What do you call it? Yeah, which is.
By the way, I was like listening to that to one of the girls. He would prey on girls that were really, really poor. Yeah. Really poor. And that's so fucked up because, like, one of the girls was saying, like, she didn't have time. Like, she couldn't eat sometimes.
But what are you going to do? You know, you're going to take the money?
Yeah, like, I don't blame her at all. And you're young. She was like 14. And if somebody's giving you money for something like that and you're hungry, like, how are you not going to take it?
I mean, even if you're not in a desperate situation, if you're a kid and you are getting attention from really rich people with a huge mansion and they're being super nice to you.
Yes.
And like, oh, these seem like good people. All of a sudden they turn on you like that. You're probably going to go with it. Because you're a kid and you would feel scared anyway. And like, it's never the kid's fault. It really is.
Never. Even when I hear about like 16 or 15-year-olds having affairs with older men, like that, they're a kid. It was the fucked up guy who did that, you know? Like,
yes.
Your brain, what is it? Your brain doesn't fully close until you're 25.
Yeah, you're not done developing until you're 25. Which is why I think a lot of decisions should be left until you're like 25. You know, that's why you can't rent a car until you're like 24, 23, 24. Yeah. but you're allowed to do so many other crazy things. Like they throw a contract in front of you for $80,000 and say, pick a school, but you can't get a business loan for $10,000 at that age. It doesn't make sense. They just keep throwing stuff at us, and they don't. It's gonna aggravate me. It's a whole other topic. Sorry. But in 2008, around August 1st, he starts his work release. So he technically gets in trouble for these earlier allegations in 2005. 2008, he is sentenced to 18 months, but is given work release where he basically just goes home every day. That's where he works from.
Wait, was this for the Ponzi scheme or the allegations?
No, this is for the allegations, yeah.
Okay.
Which is basically he was told you're on house arrest, but you're not on house arrest because he's working from home.
Because I wanted to ask you, when he did get involved with like the Ponzi scheme, what's insider trading? I'm really confused by that. What is that?
Insider trading is when you have information not available to the public for a publicly traded company. For instance, if we say we ran a business that's has stocks on the market, and I told you, hey, I'm going to release this new thing and it's going to make us a lot of money, and you buy stocks based on that information before anybody else knows, you broke the law. Because you are not supposed to use information you have to game the system before everybody else knows. Oh. But another little conspiracy here. Right before the pandemic happened, a whole lot of Congress members put money into certain companies that did really, really well during the pandemic. You know, into the Zoom, into a bunch of different online services, delivery services. And they made a lot of money while the rest of us got screwed over in the initial, hurdle. So what they were doing is no different than insider trading, but they're protected because they are quote unquote government employees or they're government workers.
Oh, so
what Epstein did.
Martha Stewart went to jail because of insider trading.
See, well, that's a hard one too, because if you talk to a lawyer, I listened to a podcast on this too. It wasn't her, it was the people around her doing it, because she wasn't really in control of her money. Like she had other people do it for her. But because she was the face, it was going into her accounts, and they wanted to make an example. Yeah. Martha Stewart's going to prison. And she did.
Why did that happen to Jeffrey though? Fuck.
Because he had enough money and connections, and he's not a face.
Yeah, but so did she. I think because he was a white man. I mean, she was a white woman, but like, I feel.
Oh, I think it's because he just wasn't in the public eye as much. Like before his case, before he passed away, nobody knew who he was. No one cared. Like no one knew who Epstein was until the conspiracy theories. Everybody knew Martha Stewart, and it was a much more salacious story, so they could use her as an example. Like, oh, we put this woman to justice because we can do it. And then they stopped doing it because she got away pretty cushy for what happened.
I don't know. I just heard the insider trading, and I was like, isn't that why she went to jail? But I still don't get it that much. I need to research it more, but you explained it in a good way.
I do my best, at least. I don't know if that's the whole story, but that's, yeah.
Like, he did so many crimes. It was like a lot of them.
And again, it's if you get a good enough lawyer too, like you gotta have a good lawyer, because certain crimes aren't crimes. Like I really don't think there's these little ones, like the guy selling roses on the side of the road doesn't have a seller's permit for roses. He can go to jail. No, I think he's fine. There are certain things out there that I just think shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, because I mean, he's working. He's doing something good.
Absolutely.
But Jeffrey, like the one thing he did good was like giving to charity, but then I found out it was because of taxes, so it'd be tax deductible. And I was like, exactly. God damn it. Like the one thing I thought he was doing good, and he was doing it just for face and for taxes. But then again, I'm kind of happy because the charities got that money, but it wasn't for a good reason. So
no, it's true. Like it wasn't altruistic. It was just him trying to save his own butt.
Yeah.
there's a lot of people out there who do the same, like people who donate to the arts a lot. I believe film production, like investing in movies, is 100% tax write-off in almost every state. So if someone's making a movie in your area and they have the proper forms, anything you give them is a tax write-off, which is a big help, because it's art. But Epstein, on the other hand, was also donating to a lot of research. So like cancer research, I think SpaceX at one point, like he was one of the first donors. But he was doing a lot of those things just to kind of put himself in there because he liked to be the center of attention as best he could.
So it's like I feel conflicted, but I'm happy he gave the money, but it wasn't for the best reason.
No, it really wasn't.
Me too.
Yeah, we could set up a big one for that, and we'll just everyone split it in little pieces.
I'm like for IHOP.
That's a good fund right there. That's a good charity.
Yeah. Coffee.
All right. So it looks like so Ghislaine Maxwell attends Chelsea Clinton's wedding in 2010. And the year before that, Epstein is released from custody completely. His house arrest ends in just a couple months after that.
Man,
like,
he had a hard life.
Yeah. The year after that, instead of a mansion in New York, he goes to his Virgin Island. So he sold. What is this? Oh, he sold the island. Or he sold the mansion in order to get the island. My gosh.
What's the little Saint Richard? The island?
What's that?
Little Saint Richard? What was the name of the island? Because I was like, I would probably have a cool name. Like I'd be raunchy, it'd be like Fuck Island or something. Because it's my island. I can do whatever I want.
That's what you're doing on your. I would be relaxing.
I would name it.
Hey, I'm not judging. Whatever you want to do with your island.
I would name it like that because then people can fly over it. That's Fuck Island right there.
Nice. Oh my gosh.
What would you name yours?
Oh my god. Oh, I don't even know. That's gonna take some serious.
Cool name. Yeah, mine would.
It's gotta be a good, like, hilarious name.
Yes.
Hilarious.
I think because it would be my island, I could get away with that with a curse.
Oh yeah. Oh, but here's the thing. Okay, the island for the mansion was traded a 1-for-1, so he didn't actually pay for the island. There was no money exchange. It was just an exchange of the mansion for the island. Excuse me.
That's that weird. The island that he was trying to have women there and like, what is it? Pregnant them? Like he had, what is it when you don't have sex with them? It's like scientific. What is the name of that? He was trying to
inseminate?
Yeah. Didn't you hear about that? He was trying to have that and get young girls there because he was trying to get more like kids, and he tried to pay a doctor lots of money for that to happen.
Jeez. Okay, this is a little off topic, but there's a Netflix documentary about a doctor who is helping with pregnancies by artificially inseminating women, for their families, but he was using his own semen.
I have heard of that, but I haven't seen. It's a documentary.
Yeah, it's a documentary on Netflix. I think we're going to talk about it on Thursday. So if you watch it and you're free on Thursday, let me know and hop on if you want.
I don't have Netflix. I remember. I have HBO Max and Amazon Prime, and I watch a lot of things on YouTube. And if I get Netflix, like, I'm not going to do anything. I know I'm just going to keep watching a lot of shit. So I'm like, I'm not getting Netflix. No more.
That is fair. I'll see if I can find it somewhere else then too.
Yeah.
I'll find the name. I'm not sure. Evil genius. Think he faked his death, living a different identity.
A lot of people think that, but I think he was killed by someone. Because remember, he was involved with a lot of political people, and he had shit on them. And I also heard he had cameras on that island.
Yeah, I heard he had a lot of evidence.
Yes. So I think that's one of the reasons he wasn't caught. Like, he was very cold and calculating. Because even with the victims, one thing that surprised me, you know how there's like some 16-year-olds that don't look 16, they look older, like more womanly. But he was attracted to the opposite, because he was attracted to 16-year-olds with braces that looked way younger, or 14-year-old. Like, he was attracted to that kind. The younger, the better. Like, one of the girls that was like the pimp, he wanted girls that looked very, very young, like infantile.
God, I can't even.
Yeah.
It just hurts to think about it sometimes.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Like, I was with my niece today, and I'm like, how can people like hurt kids? I don't get it.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, there's too many adults in the world to need to hurt kids. Like,
yeah, because they're kids, they're cute. You know, you just want to hug them.
Leave them alone. Just leave the kids alone.
And they're pretty dumb too. Like, I gave her glasses, and she was happy with them. It was like the best gift ever. And I was like, you really like the glasses, the sunglasses? She was so happy.
Nice. See, that's awesome. I love that. But speaking of Epstein being, taken out by somebody, I still say his political ties with the Clintons was what did it. I mean, I'm on it right now. There is a Wikipedia page called Clinton Body Count, which is just talking about the people that have been assassinated or committed suicide that were tied in with the Clintons, and the number is over 50 right now. So,
why do you think him? Out of all the people, why him?
Oh, because the Clintons have a history of people dying around them whenever they don't like them, or when something bad is going to happen because of them. There are numerous wealthy people. Not just, it doesn't stop with Epstein either. It keeps going after that. Reverend Jerry Falwell, Larry Nicholas. There's books on it, newspaper articles. I mean, it's a very long list of people who have died just from association with the Clintons. It's too much to ignore.
Well, I'm surprised Monica Lewinsky didn't die.
I don't think they could. I think she was safe enough to be in the public eye and like directly talk about it.
Yeah.
If it would have happened to her, they'd be like, did you guys do that? Come on.
Suspicious.
So how hard for a rich person to have a lookalike and switch places? That's
but he had a lot of enemies. So that makes me powerful enemies. So it makes me think he was murdered.
I think he was. I think if anything, yeah.
Because he had a lot of shit on people, and that makes you an enemy if you try to blackmail people or something, which I'm sure he did because he was free for a long time.
He absolutely blackmailed plenty of people. I think that's how he made a lot of his money. It wasn't just embezzlement or the Ponzi schemes. I think he had enough dirt on them that it's like, you know what, you're gonna invest with me, but you're not gonna worry about where your investment goes, kind of thing. Just give me the money and you'll be fine.
Well, I think one of the business too was like having underage prostitutes as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember it because I researched it the week that we were going to do this topic, but I remember them talking about having like very, very young girls. But like the people that would buy them, they were just looking for a prostitute. They didn't know they were underage unless they looked like it. But still gross, bark.
Still very bad, yeah, either way. Just saw Coca-Cola coffee on the shelf. That sounds like another crime. Unfortunately, it's one they're going to get away with. Coca-Cola will never be stopped. Fun fact, if you guys heard the Reefer Madness episode, Coca-Cola is the only company in the U.S. allowed to import cocaine.
For the soda.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, since I suffer from migraines, I have to drink a Coke, and it's like the only thing that helps it. So I'm like, Coca-Cola coffee, huh? If I get a migraine, I don't care. I get them really bad where I can't see anything. I'm really sensitive to everything. And I'm like, I'll drink anything. Give me anything. Like, I want this to go away.
Yeah, I had one a couple years back, and I didn't know what it was. It was the first time having one,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so bad. I went to the emergency room. I was like, I can't move. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And they get there, and they're like, no, you're gonna live. You'll be fine. Don't worry. And they
Did
gave
you
me
have
a
to
shot.
get the shot?
Yeah, it was like a motion sickness thing, and they're like, it's gonna help you, and it helped almost immediately. It was the most insane, wonderful feeling ever. But I never want another migraine to get it. So
yeah, you're not supposed to get the shots often, because my mom would get them really bad as well, and she would have to go a lot to get the shot, but then they told her like it's really bad for your bones. So only if you, that's why I always try to stop it before it gets there, because like for her, she tells me she sees like little glasses falling.
I would see spots. Yeah, little
and
tiny
I see light. Like one light becomes very bright. It can be a candle or something, and it'll become very bright. It's very weird to explain, but they're horrible. So like that Coca-Cola coffee, bring it on.
Maybe that's the trick. That's not a bad idea.
It's like it's the shot they gave you.
But yeah, just in can form. But bam. So it's better when it's cold and not directed into your veins. So that'd be nice.
If you're in pain, you don't give a shit. You're like, do whatever you have to. Like you don't care.
Yeah. That's why Coca-Cola costs $10 for a 12-pack in some places. A little bit of extra, which is funny because, oh my gosh, this is another side rant, but there are still countries where they will boil coca leaves and the effects are no stronger than a cup of coffee.
Mm.
So it's no different than drinking tea with a lot of caffeine or coffee with a lot of caffeine, because it's just boiled. It's not reduced to its full powder stage. And it apparently is cheaper and a little bit more lenient on your nervous system when you do that versus some people with their caffeine issues. So I don't know. I would not recommend doing cocaine, but if you're looking for a new drink, maybe coca tea. I don't know. So yeah, that's my rant on the side.
Well, I don't know how Mormons do it with no coffee. I'm really upset in the morning, and then I have coffee and everything becomes beautiful and wonderful.
Yeah, I can be a human again at that point.
Yes, I'm like everything, like the sun is shining, there's stars and clouds. I don't know, everything's beautiful.
No, I totally agree. Coffee in the morning makes the day much, much better.
Well, since I'm Mexican, I need to have pan dulce with it, so I have that every morning.
Oh, I have to stop because I'm trying to lose my weight and I can't do that.
Actually, at Target, they have these little muffins, and they're made of vegetables and fruit. It's not made of carbs. They're gluten-free, and they taste fucking amazing.
That sounds terrible. It sounds like a lie.
No, it's really good. It has chocolate and banana.
Okay, I guess I would try that. As soon as you said chocolate and banana, I'm like, all right, maybe.
Oh my god, because I love sweet things. I always have a sweet tooth. So to go without sugar, I feel like I become really bitchy. And it's like, for everyone's sake, for me to be nice and lovely, I need sugar.
So every time I see you, when we finally get to see each other in person, I'm gonna have a candy bar and coffee on hand.
Actually, because I think I get low blood sugar. I think that's what it is. So I'm like, I need sugar, and then everything's fine.
That's a real thing, yeah.
It is, because you feel down and you just feel sick, and I'll start to feel sick, and I'm like, oh, I need sugar.
It helps.
Maybe Jeffrey needed sugar. Wait, did you hear what he had to do? He said he needed 3 orgasms a day. That's why he needed all the women. And I was like, what? 3 orgasms a day? Like, every day. And he needed that like his coffee.
Nope. I call BS on that. I don't know any guy that needs them. I don't know it. I'm gonna say it right now. That's a lie.
One of the women, like the madame or pimp, I don't know what to call her. That's what he told her, and that's why he needed all the girls.
What do you call it? That's
disgusting.
Ooh, that would be wonderful. That would be my heaven right there.
Oh my god, yes.
We're gonna have to have. We'll have the Marlene blend, so you have to decide what kind you like.
Sweet.
You hold in the bag, boom. All right. We're almost to the end of this saga, so let's get to it real quick. So in 2019, they finally rebuilt the case against him with all of these other allegations, different court cases building together, and he's arrested on July 6th of 2019.
So wait,
And
did he
he's,
get arrested for the Sybil one, right? That's the one they won?
you can't. I don't think he was arrested for it though.
Oh.
It was just a fine kind of thing. Because this is let me see this real quick. Come on, load the whole thing. He just got back in from France. He was arrested on sex trafficking charges in his Manhattan home. No, it was just on the charges. It was not from a previous court case.
Because I was listening to what they found. Like, he got caught because they found things in his trash can.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like the sex toys that the victims were describing, which is like disgusting. I didn't even know that happened until they mentioned it. And I'm like, those poor victims, like everything they went through, like I can't imagine.
No, my God. And the fact that you have to remember everything and retell it multiple times.
And then people tell you, but they don't believe you and they think you're a gold digger, you want his money. This was a very upsetting case, especially his ending, that there was no justice for any of them.
No, it's not, because like literally less than a month from when he was arrested to July. So from July 6th to July 29th, he was put on suicide watch, basically. And then he was taken off on the 29th. And he's found dead. What is that? 12 days later on August 10th. So a month, 1 month in jail, not yet to his court case, not yet to go into actual justice.
Part of that, by the way, he wasn't at the jail the whole time. He was at the hospital for some of it.
Yeah.
And just like all his life, he lived like this very extravagant partying lifestyle where he never had to worry about paying bills or anything like that. So
no.
I think this is one of the most like upsetting cases we've had.
No, I definitely agree. It just goes to show that sometimes this stuff is just terrible, and we're not going to get any answers that we really want.
Because I guess the only good thing that can come from this is to stop the statutes of limitations for victims, because like that is so dumb. Like sexual assault, like there's a statute of limitations for that. And I think I found this like years ago, and I was like, wait, what? Like victims, like that is hard to talk about.
Yeah, I don't quite understand why it's a thing to begin with. I don't understand the reasoning behind it.
Maybe like
it
the
might
white
be
men in power.
There must have been some kind of thinking, but it doesn't make sense to me either way.
Yeah.
It
So I guess with this case, that's what I'm hoping, is that maybe they'll stop with that. Because I don't think there's a statute of limitations for murder, right? No.
I think that's the only thing so far that there's like across the board. No one has a limit for that.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a bad person, I think you should be able to get away with it if you get away with it for 1 year. If you can prove they're a bad person. Yeah.
What do you mean?
So if you murder, like say if you murdered Jeffrey Epstein yourself.
Oh, like Dexter?
Yeah, and you didn't get caught for a year, well then Marlene gets away with it. She did it. Good job. Get a little high five.
I agree.
No, it was a joke. That was a test. You failed.
Oh, I failed?
Say no. Oh my gosh. We're going to jail.
Oh, damn it.
The whole group.
You're supposed to tell me the answer before you test me. Oh my gosh.
But like you said, though, oh my gosh. Like you said, it's really not much justice to the end of this. Ghislaine Maxwell is being tried and she is going to be punished, but we're not going to hear any of it, so we don't know who else is involved, which is terrible.
Oh, I bet there's a lot of people involved. Like, I bet a lot of people turned a blind eye to everything that was happening, because one of the victims, the schoolgirl, when she got to his house, there was a lot of people there and nobody even looked at them. Like, it was pretty normal.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. Podcast, always 5 stars, but no comments. No worries. Yeah. 5 stars is always helpful, brother. We really do appreciate that. 5 stars wherever you want to put them.
I've never heard of that. What is it? The podcast app?
Yeah, it's like where they're all. What's the word I'm looking for? It's just another podcast on iTunes. There's a podcast.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Unless I'm thinking of, and Gary, let me know. I might be thinking of the wrong one because there should be a few of them. And unfortunately, when my other computer got stolen, I can't get into our Anchor right now.
Are we on Spotify? Like, that is the thing I listen to cases when I'm researching.
Well, right now, no, because I can't get into our podcast because I lost the Anchor login when my computer was stolen. So I've been trying to find everything, but they're big sticklers on a lot of that stuff, which I understand because they don't want your stuff getting hacked into. But I have no way to prove that it was stolen to them. So it's been a lot of emails.
Oh, that sucks. Hopefully we get it back because Spotify, like, that's where I listen. Like, I'll put in the person's name we're researching, and then when I'm driving, I'll listen to the case.
Me too. That's where I go.
Yeah.
I go to Spotify first.
Yeah, Spotify.
Go Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, and then I look for audiobooks, and then I'll look for regular books.
I think the third thing I look on is the HBO Max because they have a lot of documentaries there.
I'll check that out too. I have HBO Max. I'll have to check that out. I don't really watch documentaries there. I'll have to check it out.
Remember we talked about Nixium? I just watched The Fall. No, what is it? Shit, forgot the name of it. But they have a documentary.
It's on. Okay, it's on HBO. Okay, yes. I think I've seen that one too. For some reason, I was thinking it was on Hulu, so I was wrong. Yeah, it was HBO. Yeah, That's right. Dang, there's a lot of good stuff out there. My God.
Yes, that's why I told you.
We have to do a whole episode just on that stuff, just where to find everything.
Yes, that's why I was like, no Netflix, because I already watch a lot of things on YouTube, Amazon Prime, and then HBO Max. I'm like, no. Like, I need to get stuff done. And then Spotify. Like, I listen to Spotify as well, podcasts. So.
Heck yeah. Oh, my gosh. Well, there's more to be watching, guys, and that's going to be here next Tuesday as we talk about another Steen who is just as awful, but this is Harvey Weinstein, who is in prison, I believe. So that's good. That's
like plus. I'm happy there's justice in that, but this one, no.
Oh man. Have you seen Police Academy? Of course I've seen Police Academy. I've seen the first two. I'm not gonna lie, I've only seen two of them.
I have seen them in Spanish.
Yeah?
Like growing up, because like they would put them in the what is it, like Telemundo or something. So I watched them in Spanish.
Nice.
Edit it.
Nice. That's awesome. Oh man. All right. I think that's gonna wrap it for us tonight. Is there anything we're missing?
This one, it was very overwhelming. There was a lot to it. It was hard to get everything, but I guess I'm just happy that the victims got a little bit of I want to say a tiny bit of justice at the end because he was in prison, but somebody fucked it up and killed him because I wanted to see him suffer.
Yeah.
And I think it made me oppose death penalty after this case because I'm like, no, I want them to suffer. Death is too good for the person and their crime.
I get that. That makes sense to me. But yeah, I think you're pretty much spot on with that. There's only a drop of any actual justice in there. And hopefully more is doled out as more of the stuff on Maxwell comes out. But I'm not super hopeful about that.
Yeah, because like he did that trust at the end. So like the victims didn't even get the money. Nothing. Like what a fucking asshole. Yeah.
Just evil people doing evil stuff.
Yes. But I'm glad there was a lot of good people trying to take him down, and that made me happy.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of cases like this where there's people doing the worst in humanity. Yes. But then there's the other side where there's a lot of people doing their very best. Yeah. Which is a good thing to see.
Because I don't remember, you know how bad things happen, but somebody said always look for the helpers. Like when there's a car accident or something, there's always people trying to help. Yeah. All the time.
Yeah, that's very true. So hopefully you guys stick on that good note versus all the bad notes right there.
Yeah.
Like, go really happy on this
the helpers, you guys.
Yeah, because it was a super bummed episode at the end. I'm sorry. But other than that, y'all take care. We will see you Tuesday. I'm hoping Lex will be back on for that one too. I'm sure she wants to talk about it. But at the very least, you'll see us, so you'll be happy that way. Marlene, great talking to you. I missed you last week.
I know, me too. This is like a weird. It's nice to have an outlet from normal things that happen and just talk about fucked up people.
It's true. It very much helps.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, people. Y'all have a good one, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Bye.